This video we are going to learn about how to cut started threads. So in this hole there are no threads, the threads are over. So this is a motorcycle cylinder head. So we are going to cut for these bolts for number 10. They are started, so there is no any slide. So here the threads, they are there, but in this hole there are no threads, so these are just taps. So we are going to cut, like to recut or like to thread this bolt so that we can fix again the bolt. So this process, I'm going to first drill in with a 6mm drilling bit. So I'm going to put it on my machine. So just you be careful so that you cannot drill through the cylinder head, because this side there is a lot of like oil. So inside here we are going to cut the threads for number 12. So 12 is like 8mm. So as you are seeing, so this is an 8 times 1.25 tap. So we are going to use this one to cut inside so that we can put the helium coil, as you are seeing. So let us move the dust. So these taps are already 3 in size, so we have used the first one, so we are going to put the second one. So now we have enlarged the hole, so the bolt for number 10 does not now fit into, so we use the bolt for number 12, but we are going to use the helium coil for number 12, but I have a way of mind how to make the helium coil. So let's go to part 2. So this is my helium coil, so I'm going to use a die of 8mm by 2. So because I've used also a tap of 8 times 25mm pitch, so even I'm using to use the die for 8 to make a helium coil. Sorry. So we are finished to make the helium coil. So we are going to tie it into the coil. We have cut the thread so that we can decrease the size. So this helium coil, we're going to tie it inside. So to tie it inside, we are going to fix it with spare glue. know, this spagul just helps you to tighten it very well and firm. So after there, we tie our made helium coil inside. This helium coil is of 8mm, and I tighten it with this pan of mine adjustable. So the remaining piece, we cut it. After cutting it, we make the surface to be flat, a bit flat. Use this grinder. So after making the surface flat, also we have to put a seat. Make work look a bit nice and neat. Then, since we are going to put a bolt for number 10, then is of 6mm, so this is a drilling bit of 5mm. So this is as like ordered or signed by those guys who make this drilling part, who make these drilling bits. So they tell you to drill like 5.0 drilling bit. You drill a hole of 5.0 so that you can cut a thread of 6 inch. So we enlarge this hole because it's a bit small. So after you are seeing that there is no inside the thread, so I'm going to put the threads using a tap of 6.0. So that is 6 times 0, 1.0. So they are also free. So these are the taps. So we are going to cut inside them the threads of bolt number 10. As you are seeing, we are cutting inside the threads of 6 times 1.0. That's a bolt of number 10, sometimes number 8 span. So we are cutting inside so that the original bolt can still work because the threads were destroyed. So now the threads are finished. You can bring the camera and you will see the threads and show people very well the threads. See, now the threads are okay. So we are finished to recut the threads. As you were seeing, at first there was no inside the threads, so now the threads are okay. So as you have been watching this video, so we have finished cutting the threads, as you see, because they were standard threads inside, as you see. So we have been using a 6mm tap thread, a 6mm tap plus 8 times 1.25 tap thread. So we cut the helium threads, the helium coil, using a die of 8.25, 1.25. Also the taps we cut inside the hole there. They should be also 8 of 8 times 125, even the dial of 1.25. So 8 is 8 millimeter. It cuts the bolt for number 12 and number 13. This tap cuts the bolts for number 12 and number 13. So this 6 millimeter, even this 6 millimeter tap. So after cutting the irium coil using this die, so we drill inside this hole. We drill in 5 millimeter drilling bit, a 5 millimeter drilling bit inside, so that we can cut 6 millimeter tap inside. Because on this tap they say drill, as you are seeing here down here on here, drill 5.0. so this means that we have to drill to use a drilling bit of 5.0 millimeter inside here, so that we can cut these threads inside. So we have tried, in short, we have cut inside here this tap of 8 times 1.25, and also we cut this irium coil and we tied it inside. After tying it inside, we cut it. So the coil, the hole inside is small, so we enlarged this hole and we drilled in a 5 millimeter drilling bit, a hole of 5 millimeter drilling bit. Then after we cut these threads. So after cutting the threads, so this threads for 6 times 1.0 is a bolt for number 10. Sometimes is a bolt for number 8. So let me try and bring a bolt for number 10, and we prove how the threads. So as you are seeing how the threads now are back. So as you are seeing inside, so we have tried to put back the threads. So these are the threads I've used. I've tried to use an irium coil of brush, like a metal called the brush. So this is the original one. As you see, it is aluminium. So when you try to check mine, I've put an irium coil of brush inside, as you are saying. So guys, thank you very much for watching my video. See you next time.